Yo, what's up guys? It's Storm bringing you a new video today. We'll be going over the early thoughts about Bruce Banner. He's the third Marvel Rivals collab card. It's pretty interesting of a card, to be honest. He is a 2/1. When you end a turn with unspent energy, 25% chance to Hulk out. So what that essentially means is if you were to place this card down on turn 2, on turn 3, 4, 5, and 6, there will be a chance for you to turn into the Hulk, a 6/12. So essentially this could become a 2/12 if you get lucky. The chances of it happening are high. It's about 68%, 60 something percent if you decide to float that energy every turn. The problem is it's RNG. I believe this is the first real RNG card in the game where you're just like giving it up to chance and say, you know what, I'm putting my hands up in the air. If Hulk comes out, he comes out. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But the problem with that is it's a very restrictive card. And let's go over the pros and cons now, right? So RNG can get you surprising wins. Sometimes gambles pay off. So you're playing this card for the surprising pop off, right? Will it turn? Will it not? Who knows? But if you're at the end of the game, right? You're losing a location. It's just Banner there, or Banner with a bunch of low cost cards, right? Or low power cards, sorry. Boom, Hulk, 6/12, right there. More than likely, you're gonna win that location. The RNG could also go against you. So while it's a pro, it's also kind of a con. But if you're a gambler and you like the odds of more often than not, this card will transform if you're floating that energy, then hey, this is more of a pro than it is a con, right? 2, fits perfectly in existing strong archetypes. Now, I wouldn't really say that High Evil is a super strong archetype, but it's also an archetype that's been needing something. And as you can see in Marvel Snap, all it takes is one card that introduces itself to an older archetype, and it revitalizes that archetype. Perfect example of that is Doctor Doom, right? With Doom 2099. Other decks that this card fits in is Energy Dump. So as you can see over here, we have our bread and butters, High Evo, we have Sunspy, and we have She-Hulk. These are all cards where you want to float energy, or decks where you want to float energy. Specifically the She-Hulk deck, where you're floating energy on turn 5, so you can have multiple free She-Hulks. You can even do something crazy where like people run that deck where they have Infinite. I've seen like ramp versions of that deck, and Bruce is a natural 2/1 that fits in that deck. I could even see Bruce fitting in possibly maybe a Surtur deck. Someone might be able to cook that out there, or some kind of ramp where you want your normal amount of energy, and that +1 energy that you get from Bruce, the +1 energy you get from your ramp cards to help Bruce transform into Hulk. So there's a few decks that kind of goes with him that are pretty popular right now. And the third one, unpredictability, creates little counterplay to this card unless they have Red Guardian. So I wouldn't say there are many counters to Bruce Banner. Red Guardian, as always, is a perfect tech card for most cards because it just completely removes the text of the card. Bruce Banner is a card that happens retroactively. He's going to happen without you really doing anything other than floating energy, which means that during that whole time he's sitting there in a lane, he is susceptible to being Red Guardian. This is important because when you put Bruce Banner down on turn 2, he is only a 2/1. There are so many other cards that have more power than Bruce Banner, where it is likely your opponent will have initiative. They can Red Guardian your Bruce Banner, essentially turning him into a 2-1, and that's just horrible stats. I mean, it's really bad. So Red Guardian is a popular card, popular counter running around. I definitely see Bruce Banner being hit by Red Guardian and making this card even more of a liability to a deck, I would say. And here are the cons. So holding back energy to trigger Banner's effect might result in suboptimal plays, giving your opponent an advantage. There might be times where you do not want to hold that energy back. You might want to play your Cyclops down on turn 3 for High Evo decks, right? And there goes a situation where you essentially gave up that 25% chance for him to transform. So I see Banner as a very restrictive card with a high payoff, but a very, very, very high downside too. He's very up and down. You know, you're gonna have your high roll games and your low roll games. The randomness of his ability might not justify sacrificing better plays on critical turns. So this is similar to the previous point. You'll find yourself wanting to float that energy, but also might want to play something else that you know will be better. If you think that playing a specific card is going to be better for your curve, but Bruce isn't going to Hulk out that turn, that's a gamble that you might just have to give up, you know. And it just kind of leans into the restrictiveness of the deck, of the card. One of the most popular tech cards in the game, Red Guardian, is Bruce Banner's best counter. So like I mentioned earlier, in the pro section, Red Guardian is a huge issue. He is, while there aren't many cards that do counter Bruce Banner, I think it might really only be it might really only be Red Guardian. Red Guardian is one of the most popular cards in the game, so definitely be careful of Red Guardian running around. You might even want to pick up some one-cost cards that can give you some initiative and Cosmo that lane early and just leave it alone and just start floating energy, possibly. I don't know if that's a good game plan. It's possible, but this card definitely leans more on fun than it leans on being competitive. Hence why I give Bruce Banner a solid 2 out of 5 stars. It is a very polarizing card. It's gonna win you some surprising games, some frustrating games at times for your opponent. And it's gonna be frustrating for you when Bruce inevitably doesn't Hulk out and you lose because he does not Hulk out. So that's it. That's all I really have on Bruce. Thank you guys for sticking around through the video. I kind of had a pretty personal accident recently when it comes to like my laptop and a few other things, so I had to get a whole new setup and it's been pretty annoying. So I do appreciate it if you made it through this video, and support me however way you can. Like, comment, and subscribe. I stream on Twitch every Mondays through Thursdays between 8 and 9:30 p.m. So be sure to check the boy out. Links will be in the description, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.